the psychological part of it is knowing that, but the fighter is knowing that it can happen to the other person as well. So you choose what side you're going to be on, and you go in with that ferocious mindset that you're going to take out your opponent. But like Dillian, he spent months and months in Portugal training, preparing, and something like that can happen. But I feel like the training doesn't only add up to this fight with Povetkin. He's got another how many years in the sport, so this is just a blip in the career. Dillian fights for himself. People would say loads of things now. You know, people are going to talk all sorts of stuff about Dillian's performance and stuff, but you know, Dillian's a fighter, so I stick with him as a fighter and say, dust yourself off, get back up, and go again.
He really has.
Those are the words of Anthony Joshua in regards to Dillian Whyte's upset loss to Alexander Povetkin. And Anthony Joshua has said something that he knows from by experience. Okay, he's been in that situation as of last year that he was defeated for the first time. You know, Dillian Whyte's second loss, but I mean, he hasn't lost in a long time, so it is an upset. You know, having one loss or no losses, those are the type of things where it's devastating, especially after you've already lost and you just vowed not, you know, that's just a blimp in the road, so to speak. And then you get another one. Okay, so it's one of those things where it defines you. It shows you who you really are as a person. And a lot of people they're going to talk. And Anthony Joshua mentioned his performance and what people were going to say about Dillian Whyte's performance. This is me counterpunching them. That could have happened to anybody. Okay? I think the only other factor besides skill set, because the skill set was rather Povetkin being crafty, being experienced, and knowing what to do at certain times, because he's practiced and focused on that for many, many years, you know, especially how to execute a punch. And that was a counter, okay? That was a counter. It was a weave, and he came right up the middle. Look, uppercuts are very, very difficult to counter, to avoid, okay? And it's kind of impossible to see them coming, because they're coming right up underneath you as opposed to around you, you know, or straight up the middle. You know, these things are coming from uppercut underneath. And Dillian Whyte did good. He did a good job. And look, people forget that Dillian Whyte put Povetkin down. People forget that very easily because they're only looking at the outcome. And a lot of people, let's be real, didn't watch the fight anyway. Either they didn't have access to it or whatever, but then everyone is going to see the highlights. And then what they're going to see, they're going to see Povetkin weaving, uppercutting, and taking Dillian Whyte out. But this is heavyweight boxing. It can happen, you know. And I think these were encouraging words from Anthony Joshua, because, of course, he's been there, and people said anything about him. So you know that's going to happen to Dillian Whyte now, especially when Dillian Whyte was in a position that he was in. You know, and a lot of people whoever they were that were conspiring against Dillian Whyte, they're probably going to talk the most, and we already had, you know, whim of that. So a lot of the people that was involved in a possible collision with Dillian Whyte will have a lot to say now. Right? So, you know, he's absolutely right. And I also add this to what something about Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. They might not like each other as suppose of, hey man, what's up? Let's get a beer. No, but if you notice, I seen the face of Anthony Joshua yesterday, and he looked disappointed. Okay, and it's a mutual British respect I feel between the two. They might not like each other, but they respect each other. I think that if you listening to Anthony Joshua talk now, this was a whole different spirit from the time Jarrell Miller got busted. You know what I mean? Because I felt it was a little joy in that they did catch him, that justice was made from that downfall of that fighter versus this particular situation. It's a totally different attitude that he's responding from. Okay. But Dillian Whyte, you know, I do feel that you win some and you lose some, definitely. And, you know, Anthony Joshua was just shedding light on it, you know, and then I think, you know, when push comes to shove, those guys, you know, will support each other by the respect they have for each other by being British brothers. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.